Hey YouTube, Renee here, with the third part of this restoration video. Now, in the last video, I had taken using 220 grit, I had taken the stain off, the finish that it had, the original finish, I had taken it off completely. So, as I told you before, the 220 had, it's a heavy grit. So even though I did not go very deep into the wood, it's still, of course, it's scratching it because it's taking it's a 220 grit, so it's very coarse grit sandpaper. So what I did was, before I did anything else, I decided to go ahead and stain it using the tan color that I had showed you. Now, one of the things that I noticed was, well, first of all, I stained it, I let it dry, and then I sanded it down once again using 400 grit sandpaper. And then I restained it again with using the same dye, the tan color. And then I started noticing that, okay, it's getting really, really dark. One of the things that I didn't want was I didn't want it just to be a brown color, just a flat brown, just I don't know. I just don't like just having just a one color pipe. I don't know what it is, it's just like, that's no fun, Now this pipe here didn't really have any grain to speak of, so at least none that I was able to bring up. So one of the things that I did, I guess I could have brought up some grain if I would have gone deeper into the pipe, but I didn't want to really do that. So what I did was, I did the 400 grit, then I restained it, I wait for it to dry, then I hit it with 600 grit, and once the 600 grit was done, I realized, okay, well, it's looking, a little dark. So what I did was I grabbed 800 grit sandpaper, and what I tried to do, just going very lightly, I'm not heavy at all. What I tried to do was I tried to distress the color in some areas to try to get a kind of like a two-tone color to the pipe. I think that looks a lot better than just having it one color. I don't know, that's just my personal preference. A lot of people don't like it, but I actually kind of do. It just gives it a nice weathered look. So that's what I did. The bit, I also cleaned that. That I just used a 400 grit on it, then a 600, and then an 800 grit wet. Basically, what just wet the sandpaper, wet the bit, and just start buffing. Usually it's a lot faster than if you do it dry, even though, I don't know, I don't mind doing it dry, but this time I just did it wet. It's, but I guess it is faster if you do it wet. I can't really say, I have a preference. At any rate, so that's what I did with that. So now all that's left to do is to put it on the buffing wheel and see what comes up. Now, before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the buffing wheel, and I'm going to use the Red Rouge Tripoli compound on the pipe and the stem as well. What's going to happen to the pipe, and I don't know how it's going to come out, it's going to darken the color. It's going to make it a little richer, so it tends to darken it. So I'm hoping that that's not going to get rid of a lot of the distressed parts that I put on there. Like I said, using 800 grit, what I did was I tried to distress the stain as much as I possibly could to get kind of like a two-tone color going on there. Hopefully it won't darken it that much. And that's all that's left. So in my next video, I'm just gonna basically show you the finished product. Alright, compadres. Well, as always, thank you for watching. If you still are, vayan con Dios.